Hey everybody, Tommy Ady here, and I'm going to share one of my secrets that's a sampling of what you'll learn at any of my tactical F&I conferences coming up. This is really important for a GM, for a sales manager, and especially the F&I manager to know. Just a few days ago, I was in another dealership watching salespeople do their thing, selling, a desk manager, desk and deals, and then the business manager getting people bought, when one of the salespeople brought a credit app up to the desk and said the guy had never bought anything before. So like a lot of first-time buyers out there, this one laid down for the salesperson and agreed to pay MSRP on this side-by-side at a payment that was penciled a little bit over $400 a month. Now this is a typical situation with a person that is a first-time buyer to practically flop over on the showroom floor in front of a salesperson and say, I'll pay anything if you can just get me approved. Well, they don't actually do that, but if the salesperson isn't green, then the customers practically will. Also, it's typical for a sales manager to input it into their DSM, hand it over to the business manager to pull a credit bureau, barely glance at the numbers, and then put it in Dealer Track or something to submit it to a few different lenders, predicting that it's going to get a big old TD. This is what I watched happen the other day. Then they told me that there weren't any good first-time buyer programs out there. That's when I shared a secret that I'm going to share with you right now. What this is about is deal structure and LTV, also known as loan to value. First, take a look at these numbers. Now, these are the real numbers that this dealership used to try to get their customer approved on. But no, the manager sent the customer to the lenders with the following structure. Selling price of the unit was $15,900. Freight $500, setup was $400, and a doc fee of $100. I'm sorry. Add in tax, title, and a license, and that adds $400. Now your subtotal is $17,399. Right there with my TT&L, tax, title, and license, I'm at 108.75% of the manufacturer's MSRP. In other words, $17,399 is 108.75% of $15,900. And these numbers matter to you, so remember them. I'm going to use lender A and lender B for my example. Lender A is a real bank that has a nationwide presence, and their first-time buyer program says these exact words. Max, 90% front end, LTV including sales tax. Max, 110% OTD, LTV not to exceed $20,000 OTD. That's out the door. Some of the fine print says no credit score is required, and the max payment can be 15% of the buyer's income. Now, I'm not going to go over the other things that they say like POI, POR, and all that other stuff because those details only matter after you structure your deal correctly. Over to lender B is another nationwide lender that says max 100% front-end LTV including sales tax, max 115% OTD, and has similar small print. Here's where our top producers get so many more approvals than the average business managers, plus they make double the annual income, if not a lot more, usually a lot more. Now keep in mind, most of you are submitting your deals with Dealer Track, Cuddle Octane, or some other platform. When you do that, it's a computer that's analyzing your deal. It looks at the information that you submitted and gives an approval, pending or decline solely based on the information that you supply to it and what it sees on the report. So it's a computer doing this. You need to pencil the numbers out so the computer that's looking at your deal, when you send it, will automatically approve it, subject to the credit score. Now, I'm going to structure my deal two different ways for two different lenders. If I'm sending my deal to three different lenders for an approval, then I'm probably going to do it differently for all three. Lender A, they said they'll only do 90% LTV including TT&L, so I've got to calculate what that ends up being. I'm going to leave my selling price at $15,900 and add a down payment of $2,600. See what my LTV did? It's at 90.62%. It's close, but that's not a decline. I have to be under 90%. If I change it to 2650, now I'm at 89%. That could be the difference between a decline and an approval. Now, let's look at lender B. They'll do 100% front end. That means my customer only needs $1,050 down. Now, I think I know what you're thinking. The buyer has to come up with $1,000 to $2,000, and most aren't going to be able to do that. You're partly right. The sales manager needs to know this, though. There are actually 3 things that need to happen. Thing 1 should have happened before the deal ever made it to finance. How much money is the customer putting down? You've got to have money down. Thing 2, tell the desk manager how much they need to lower the price in order to sell the unit. And tell the desk manager the other option is getting more down payment from the customer rather than lowering the price. Thing 3 is get out your rebate book and find an aged unit the desk manager is willing to discount heavily to move, or find a fat rebate that's going to make up for the lack of down payment. Thing 1 was determined by the pockets of the customer. Thing 2 is determined by the desk manager. Thing 3 is determined by a tactical thinking desk and F&I manager. Now, once you have thing 1 and 2, now you can submit the deal over to the lender for an approval. As you get more proficient at structuring deals, then you'll suck less and less at structuring deals, which means you're going to get faster and faster and begin lining your pockets with more money. This is just a little part of getting more approvals, but something you've got to learn. If you like this video, then get to one of my tactical conferences. I'll help you make some money. See you soon.